one of the things which he has done in JNU, which perhaps is the only program of its kind in Indian academia, is to study a global studies program by students from 3 different countries, Germany, South Africa and India, kind of share. So that's a very interesting thing. He has expanded the boundaries of the university, the notion of the university to make it literally universal by bringing people from 3 different continents. I hope it continues. I mean, that kind of experiment I have not seen anyone else do really, which here is a very important thing. And so students learn different cultures, different by visiting these places. This extensively work. I know I can share certain small secrets about him, but I'll tell you only one thing. Thanks to him, Immanuel Wallerstein, those of you who study world systems theory, made his first visit to India way back, just after the emergency, 1977. I remember that. Of course, subsequently, Wallerstein kept on coming to India, including the World Congress of Sociology in 1986. So there are many such interesting things. He organized during the emergency in India abroad group, holding demonstrations in front of the United Nations at Chicago, New York, and then brought up bulletins. And some of you, and many of you, those of you who watch both English and Hindi news channels, would have seen him on the television as a person who just recently contested an election from Delhi's northeast. So that's another aspect of this, because why I say this is, knowledge is something which is not only confined to the classroom, it has to have relevance. That's the kind of perspective he brings, something which I share with him, which I think is that knowledge is not really exclusive, it's just only that way. It has to have immediate relevance both for students and outside. That's the kind of personality he had, and the fact that he could find time to come, it's a great thing. That because he was so busy, that's what Manish is my voice. But I hope that's the beginning of the thing. Let me also say something. There are many other things, but that will be later.
Please introduce your topic and your findings to the group.
Nowadays, food security is a burning issue all over the world, especially in the third world country, likewise India, where 1/3 of the population estimated to be completely poor, and half of our children and 1/3 of our women are malnourished in one or other way. And nowadays, India is the fastest growing developing economy in the world, but has not succeeded in the issue of hunger and malnutrition, especially with respect to women and children belongs to the socially excluded group. We see that though in India there are a lot of schemes and programs that have been implemented since independent India to provide food security. But still India stands for the highly malnourished country because these all programs ignore the interlinkage between food and nutritional security, human rights and right to development. However, ICS is the one major program which is closely connected to provide food security as a life cycle development approach. But India stands for the highest ranking in malnutrition in the world. So this study carried out the social interpretation of the concept of food security as a right. This is the statement of the problem. In spite of 36 years of the implementation of integrated child development scheme in India, India stands for the highest ranking in malnutrition in the world, Satisfactorily, Madhya Pradesh is one of the most food insecure state of India and ranked first in the proportion child affected by malnutrition. Empirical data shows that women and children are the foremost segment of food insecurity. These are research questions. First, is food security considered as a human right? Second, is food security having significant to other human rights like right to education, right to health, and right to development? Third, do gender discrimination and social exclusion play vital role to decide food security? Fourth, are women the mediator of household food security, including education and health security? And lastly, can ICDS scheme be a better option to fulfill the aspiration of a comprehensive food security to women and children as a part of right to development? These are the main objectives of the study. First, to examine out the relevance of right discourse toward food security. Second, to find out the rights of women and children with reference to food security. Third, to explore relationship between gender discrimination and social exclusion, causing human rights violation of women affecting their food security. Fourth, to evaluate the integrated child development services scheme. And lastly, to examine the potential of ICDS scheme toward right to development through right to food, right to education, and right to health. And these are the review of literature. As we seen that Nussbaum noticed that women were not treated as a full-fledged human being in the society. And Chilton described that malnutrition among the children mediated by their parents, especially by mother. And a malnourished mother always leads to birthing malnourished baby, which are vulnerable to food utilization, healthcare, and food insecurity related areas. Eddy also described that the inadequate nutrition in prenatal and postnatal period will cause malnutrition and have long-lasting effect on the children. Agarwal Mukherjee indicate that women face gender discrimination within household and as well as outside the household. And Office of High Commission on Human Rights in Food and Agriculture Organization in 2010 discussed that women play a central role in achieving food security, but usually they deprive of various types of rights and power. Ramchandran Neera analyzed that women accept their status as an unequal member of the family and society. This is the problem. And we see that in India, in the field of malnutrition, there are some social patterns and social identity. Likewise, National Family Health Survey report in 2005-06 and Hunger and Malnutrition Survey 2011 described that scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and Muslim families are most vulnerable to malnutrition. Similarly, women have to face double burden of social exclusion as caste and gender discrimination. Food and Agriculture Organization analyzed that right to adequate food impose three types of obligation to state or the stakeholders: to obligation to respect, to protect and facilitate and fulfill the aspiration of women and children by right to food security. Gentry highlighted that right to food is one of the basic economic and social rights without which economic and as well as political democracy might be incomplete. Ocean highlighted human rights based approach and says that it removes the charity dimension of development by emphasizing the rights of right holder and responsibilities of the duty bearer. Marx in 2011 discussed that right to development identified three basic rights: the right to food, primary health care, and primary education, because they are complementary to the non-derogable right to life, which is the foundation of our life. In fact, development connects both social justice and human rights in the process of welfare. And simply, development is a process which enhances the quality of life in a multi-dimensional way, which comprises social, economic, and political justice and inclusion within it, and development to facilitate the enjoyment of our human rights, and without human rights, development cannot be possible. This is the research here. Though there are many programs implemented to provide food security in India, but they ignore the interlinkage and interdependence between food and nutrition security, human rights, and right to development, including education and health. This is the chapter 1 of the study. First is introduction, which deals with the overall structural organization of the study. Second is the food security concept and context, which discuss the emergence of the concept of food security and its interpretation of interdisciplinary nature. Third is food security as a right, which investigates the relevance of food security as a human right. Fourth chapter is Integrated Child Development Services Scheme, a brief discussion, which explore the potential of ICDS scheme toward food security of women and children. And fifth chapter is Integrated Child Development Services Scheme, a study of Indorcity, which deals with the case study of Anganwadis of Indorcity. And lastly, conclusion deals with the major finding of the study. This is the meaning of food security. The state of food insecurity in world 2001, prepared by Food and Agriculture Organization, defined food security as food security is a situation that exists when all people at all time have physical, social, economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preference for an active and healthy life. Food security in this sense has four major dimensions: availability, access, utilization and sustainability. Availability dimension of food security concerns with the sufficient domestic agricultural production as per demand. Access means people have sufficient purchasing power to purchase food as per their physical requirements, choice, and also in a socially acceptable manner. Utilization dimension of food security concerns with the nutrition requirement to maintain physical and mental health based on age, sex and body, and sustainability equivalent to the reducing hunger, reducing chronic and persistent hunger on a sustainable basis. In this diagram we can see that food security based on the availability, accessibility, utilization, inclusion, sustainability and sufficient, safe, nutritious food for active and healthy life. And food insecurity comes from the lack of availability, accessibility, utilization and sustainability, and with the effect of social exclusion, it's resulted in chronic and transitional food security.